Welcome to Hunting with Hacks. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. This week, we're in the bow hunting paradise of South Africa. You know, I've made the long flight 3 times before hunting for plains game, but this time I have my sights set on what the African PHs call Black Death. Yes, as crazy as it may sound, I've always had the desire to bow hunt the giant Cape buffalo with my PSE, and I was finally getting my chance. I was joined by several good friends, so it's going to be a fun trip all the way around. As usual, we're all hunting with archery gear, and no matter what happens, we'll show it all right here on Hunting with Hacks.
Hunting is about getting close. Really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible.
When you have a cameraman and you setting out in a dirt field like this, you can get away with so much with this hex on.
I've got to give credit once again to Hex.
We showcase the science of getting close right here on Hunting with Hex.
Hunting with Hacks is brought to you by PSE Archery. Tough Country, American values forged in steel. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow experts. Nocturnal lighted Knox, illumination that lasts for 20+ hours. Rocky Mountain hunting calls, we call the game. Tacticam, share your hunt. Warren Winches. Trophy Properties and Auction. And Hex Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
We're hunting with Avula Safaris on this trip, and the accommodations were first class. They have luxurious lodging, great food, and some of the most professional PHs that I've ever seen in Africa. Top this off with plenty of trophy animals to hunt, and that is a recipe for memorable experiences, and one that I would highly recommend to anybody thinking about an African adventure. My plan for this trip was to do some spot and stock hunting in the morning, then set water holes during the heat of the day and on into the evening. Of course, my primary focus was taking a big Cape buffalo with my bow. But if I had an opportunity at a worthy animal of another species, I didn't plan to pass it by. The first morning found us stalking the edge of some open scrub just to see what we could get into. My PH on this hunt was Richter van der Linden. I just called him Rich, and he was extremely experienced with bow hunting and open to try whatever I had in mind. Rich had heard of Hex technology, but hadn't used it until I got to camp. I told Rich that I like to hunt a little out of the box, so to speak, so he was excited to see Hex in action. When we spotted a couple Nyala bulls moving in our direction, I moved on an intercept course, and Rich soon got his first taste of the Hex effect in real life. Well, these were nice bulls, but I'd taken one on my first trip, so it was not something I was really interested in shooting. So we just pushed in close, stood in the wide open at top pin bow range, and watched as they moved by, totally unaware of our presence. A short time later, we spotted a species that I had stalked one time and nearly connected with on my first trip. That was the black wildebeest. Unlike the more common blue wildebeest, the blacks are strictly wide open animals, and they only come to water about every 7 days. This makes them extremely difficult to get with a bow. Well, on my first trip, I had just walked in the open directly at the black wildebeest. On that trip, I came very close to getting a shot, so that would once again be my go-to tactic. As I left the cover of the brush, I wasn't surprised to see them look in my direction, but they didn't become alarmed, and I kept moving steadily towards them. When they started acting nervous, I just stopped for a short time, and they relaxed a bit, and I moved forward once again. Just as I'd seen before, the wildebeest let me close to a distance where I probably could have made a shot, but I wanted to get just a little bit closer and have just a little higher percentage opportunity. Man, I'll tell you what. That was pretty cool. Obviously, we were right in the open on black wildebeest. Those are one of the hardest things to stalk with a bow that there are. And as you saw it, I just went all Hex. Walked right at them. Fairly slow, but not that slow really. Just kept my pace up. And as you saw, I mean, I was 60 yards. In my mind, I wanted inside of 50, but we were that close. Some really nice black wildebeest. Again, that, my friends, is a Hex moment.
If you're looking for a hex system, come visit our new website, where you have the option to build your own system from any of the hex clothing to match your particular hunting style. Or choose from one of our convenient pre-built systems specifically designed to cover you in hex technology in every season. Our most popular hex system is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing or over the top. It comes in the original olive green, as well as our new Hex Style Anywhere and Hex Style Green digital camo patterns to match any terrain. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester-based cloth. The grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. All complete hex systems include 3 pieces. These essential pieces include a hex pant, hex top, and hex head cover. You may use any combination of appropriate hex products to achieve the goal of covering as much of your body as possible with hex technology. The shirt is a quarter zip Henley with rugged serge stitching, embroidered hex logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have rugged serge stitching throughout, and the heavy elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the hex hat, our versatile multi-rag that can be worn in a variety of ways, camo gloves made of a lightweight stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. And of course, all of the accessories have the hex grid woven right in. Order right now and use the promo code to save on your order of a complete hex suit. Visit our website to learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering. We'll be right back with more close-up African encounters right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with Hex. We're hunting in South Africa this week, and before the break, we watched as host Mike Slinkard put the hex on some wary African plains game. Now let's get back to the hunt.
I was having a lot of fun chasing things around, but as I said earlier, I was there primarily to take a big Cape buffalo with my bow. To that end, we set out some cameras on likely water holes to try to pinpoint a good location to set in hopes of having one of these big guys come by. As usual, we have the regular variety of African animals on the various water sources, which are always fun to see, even if they aren't the animals that you're actually hunting. But finally, we found what we were looking for, and we could see that there were not a lot of buffalo on this particular water hole, but there was one giant old Duggaboy bull that had taken up residence. With our area picked out, we rolled in early enough the next day to get set up before the midday heat would bring them back into the water.
Okay, we're pushing the limits a little bit on this African hunting, so most of the time you set in a blind, well, as you can see, we're not in that. We're just in the brush. The wind's pretty decent for us. Hopefully it'll hold. And got water out here. It's an old farm right here, this old abandoned farm, so there's a well and some water right here, so the animals are coming in and out all the time. So anyway, we're gonna sit here till dark, and hopefully we see a bunch of game. Hopefully we see a big Cape buff, because that's what I'm loaded for right now. So it'll be exciting, I promise.
Rich was understandably concerned with our safety because we'd be in the open with no solid protection if one of the bulls decided to charge. And it was a real possibility if they discovered us at such close proximity. Still, I was determined, and against his better judgment, Rich agreed to the idea. At first, we had the customary animals show up, and I could see herds of animals moving through the scrub all around us. Late in the day, I caught the first glimpse of a buffalo moving through the scrub and coming our way. Well, the wind had been good, but like happens so often, about the time the bull started in, I felt a swirl hit the back of my neck. When the big bull got directly in front of us, you can see him jump as he got a full whiff of our scent. My heart sank as I expected him to bolt and run. He looked towards the blind to try to figure out where we are, then directly at us. You know, I had plenty of time to look him over, and he was an intimidating animal. He was a solid chunk of muscle and bad attitude, standing in the open only 50 yards away from us. You know, I'm very confident with my bow and its killing ability, but I have to admit, finally getting to look into the eyes of Black Death, my arrows seemed a little puny in comparison. Still, even though he was looking our direction, I don't believe he really knew where we were or that we were sitting out in the open. He kept looking off to the side and around as if he was trying to figure out why he couldn't locate with his eyes what his nose told him was certainly there. That was until we accidentally made a slight noise which further confirmed his suspicion. He was already on alert, and that one small noise was all it took for him to pinpoint our position sitting there. His immediate reaction was to move away, but then he started to get worked up. At that point, it was obvious that he considered this his area, and he wasn't too happy with our intrusion there. Well, as the big bull postured and stared in our direction, I'm not gonna lie, his threat display was pretty intimidating. You know, having an animal of this size tearing up trees and showing no fear at close range, and me with just a bow in my hand while sitting basically in no cover on a lawn chair, was making me re-examine some of my life choices. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, it was an incredible feeling. The more he raked the tree, the more concerned Rich and I became. He was obviously working himself up into action, and I was just afraid that we were gonna be the action part. In all my years of bow hunting, this is about as sketchy a situation as I've ever been in. Sitting out in that chair, I felt completely vulnerable. I knew that if he worked himself up enough, he'd come and we'd only have seconds before he was honest. Even if he did give me the broadside shot that I needed, I was near certain that it would provoke a charge. Still, I was all in at this point. I had no choice but to sit and see how it was all going to play out, while staying fully focused on making a perfect shot if it presented itself. Rich would have to take charge with his rifle if it all went bad after that. After almost an hour and several adrenaline dumps on my part, the bull finally made his way to the right and out of sight.
That was one of the most intense things that I've ever done in bow hunting. That buffalo is huge, and he's got a very bad attitude. And he actually smelled us and came looking for us. I can't even tell you how dangerous of a situation that was. Yeah, that was crazy.
We'll see if the hunter becomes the hunted right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with Hacks. Before the break, we watched as a riled-up Cape Buffalo bull put on quite a display, making it clear he wasn't happy finding host Mike Slinkard sitting out in the open near its waterhole. Mike thought the encounter was over when it walked away, but the big bull had other ideas.
Well, after the tree raking intimidation display that bull put on, my heart was pumping pretty good, not knowing just what he was going to do. When he made his way off to the right, I started to calm down a little, thinking it was over. But it wasn't. Just when I thought that they'd wandered off, the giant old bull showed up again from the left after completely circling behind us in the thick brush. He now knew exactly where we were, and when he circled back in front of us, he was locked right on our position, and he was still very upset. That's when that adrenaline started pumping all over again. Well, the seconds dragged on like hours, but he finally moved out into the open. But just as I started to draw my bow, he alerted again and jumped away, only to immediately spin back to face right at us once again, giving me no ethical shot angle. He looked ready to take on the world at that moment, and I honestly thought that might be the moment that he was going to take us. Fortunately, he locked up again, staring right at us. He knew right where we were, but I believe because we were all in hex that we appeared different to him, and that gave him just enough confusion to keep him from charging. I can tell you for certain, we were all very glad he was confused. Normally, we'd just walk down the road from the water in the evening to get picked up. But with the bulls this fired up and showing no signs of leaving, Rich wisely calls the truck to come pick us up where we were. We just didn't want to further provoke that very angry bull.
If you're looking for a hex system, come visit our new website, where you have the option to build your own system from any of the hex clothing to match your particular hunting style. Or choose from one of our convenient pre-built systems specifically designed to cover you in hex technology in every season. The original hex suit is very lightweight, breathable, and versatile enough to be used in almost any hunting situation. The hex systems consist of 3 pieces. These essential pieces include a hex pant, hex top, and hex head cover. You may use any combination of appropriate hex products to achieve the goal of covering as much of your body as possible with hex technology. All hex hunting products are now available in our new Hex Style Anywhere and Hex Style Green digital camo patterns to match any terrain. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester-based cloth. The grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. The original pants are cut similar to sweatpants, with an elastic waistband, elastic cuffs on the bottom, side pockets, and a convenient fly. The pullover shirt features thumb holes, serge stitching, and an embroidered logo. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the hex hat, our versatile multi-rag that can be worn in a variety of ways, camo gloves made of a lightweight stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. And of course, all of the accessories have the hex grid woven right in. Order right now and use the promo code to save on your order of a complete hex suit. Visit our website to learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering. We'll see if Mike has the nerve to draw on one of Africa's most dangerous animals right after this.
Well, Rich, I'll tell you what, yesterday was the most intense day bow hunting I've ever had ever.
Yes, that buffalo bull is an old bull, extremely aggressive bull. I've never had the same situation like we had yesterday.
It was absolutely intense. I had at least 5 or 6 total adrenaline dumps. I mean, where I'm just,
Yes, I've seen.
and then luckily when it was time to shoot, I was pretty good. But boy, I tell you, I lost it a couple times. What we're going to do, we're going to put a decoy, kind of build a decoy blind for him, something for him to pay attention to.
Yes.
Besides where we were yesterday.
Where we were yesterday.
And hopefully he comes in and he'll turn broadside long enough to get an arrow in the hole.
Yeah.
With a plan in place, we set out early to get everything set up. It wasn't long before we were once again settling in for a long afternoon wait. Once again, we had animals coming and going all around us, oblivious to 3 of us sitting under the sparse tree only yards away. Well, hours passed and the sun began to set, and light drops of rain began to fall. The wind started picking up as well, and it was going in every direction. Rich was also concerned about the wind, and he motioned for me to get together and discuss the situation.
This weather is bad.
It's extremely bad. Mike, I think the best thing we can do is to get in the structured blind.
I do.
This wind is just bad, and the weather turned for the worst.
You know, I really wanted to shoot that buffalo outside the blind to really show what's possible with hex technology. But in reality, we'd already proven its effectiveness with the encounters we'd had up to that point. So I let safety have the lead, and reluctantly, I moved into the blind. About an hour later, with the light fading fast, we spotted a buffalo coming through the scrub. Well, it was the same bull, and this time he circled the area first, and he was obviously looking for us. And after this big bull was sure that we weren't still there, he moved around and right in the perfect shooting position.
Yeah, I think that's right where it needs to go. That's right where I was aiming it anyway.
That was an excellent shot.
Wow. Holy cow. Wow, that's some exciting stuff.
Well, we went and got the light, and look at this monster bull. Holy cow, this is bucket list stuff here with Avula Safaris. And Rick, I'm so glad that you were able to be there with us.
Congratulations, Mr.
I mean, this guy is a Buffalo pro, and that stuff that happened last night, he said in his entire career he's never seen it before. And so, man, that was exciting.
Yeah, no, that was some nerve-wracking stuff.
Well, that's what makes this one extra special. We had to get in the blind for safety reasons. The wind was swirling. We knew he was going to hunt us again. And when it was right at dark before he got here, so it would have got real sketchy real quick if we'd have been outside. But, man, I tell you what, we put the hex on yet another one.
Hex is excited to offer our first dedicated outerwear system. Our new premium quality outerwear pant, coupled with a Hex hooded shirt with integrated face cover, is the ultimate Hex system for any hunting situation. You can find this system on our website as a pre-built system, or you can customize this system even further using our new Build Your Own System option. The hooded shirt comes with an integrated face mask, a convenient front pocket, thumb holes, and is the perfect Hex outerwear piece for these cooler days in the field. It comes in both Hex-style camo patterns as well as a two-tone version. Brand new to the Hex lineup is our outerwear pants. These will be the most comfortable hunting pants you will ever wear, and of course, they have the Hex patented technology woven right in. They feature a super comfortable, action-cut, quiet fabric, ample pocket space, and a zippered leg pocket for your Hex accessories or your cell phone. This is a high-quality pant that replaces the need for an additional Hex layer in order to get the full Hex advantage. They come in both Hex Style Anywhere and Hex Style Green Camo, as well as an olive brown. This is quickly becoming our best-selling system. You can check it out on our website along with other great Hex products and accessories. Don't delay. We expect these systems to sell out fast.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this hair-raising hunt for one of bow hunting's most dangerous trophies. Without a doubt, this was one of my most exciting hunts ever, and that's saying something. This hunt will be one that I'll cherish in my memory until I take my last breath. But even with all that, we were still able to prove once again that Hex technology can be an incredible equalizer with almost any game. We saw in both spot and stalk situations, as well as sitting and wait, Hex proved that we could push the envelope in ways that we never thought possible prior to the Hex discovery. If you don't yet have a Hex system, go online or give us a call and get one on the way. We have a lot of new options, so we're sure to have just what you need for your style of hunting. In the meantime, we'll keep pushing the limits and bringing it to you each week, right here on Hunting with Hex.
If you have an amazing Hex encounter you'd like to share, give us a call or go online. You can find out more on our website. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.